We all my lecture series of data structures. In today's video, we have seen one case study on the queue data structures. For example, first we will see the problem statement. A hospital wants to optimize the emergency department's patients before going using a queue using that based systems. Describe how you would design and implement such a system. Suppose a hospital wants to optimize its emergency department's patient flow using a queue based systems. So this is the problem statement. So the system, first we will see what are all the system requirements in the above problem statement. First one is the patient registrations. The patients are registered upon arrival and their information is stored in the system based upon their first in first come. Next is the triage. The patients are assessed by a nurse or doctor to determine the severity of their condition. So based upon the severity, the nurse or doctor could be assessed that patients. Next, third one is the queue management. The patients are added to a queue based on the triage level and wait time. So they are added to the queue based upon that emergency level and the wait time. Next is the bed assignment. After assessing, we have to allocate the bed. So when a bed becomes available, the system assigns it to the next patient in the queue. So once the bed is available means, so the next patient in the queue is allocated that bed. Next is the real-time monitoring. The system provides the real-time updates on patients' wait times and bed availability and other key metrics. These should be updated periodically. So real-time. So every patient arrive and discharge. This system should update a patient's wait times, bed availability, and other key metrics. So these are all the system requirements needed to implement the hospital emergency department management. So what is the terms we have to use here is in that five requirements we frequently refer that name as a queue. So what is a queue? Queue is a data structure. It is a linear data structures. It follows the first come first come first serve mechanism. That means the first insertion element should be deleted first. The first incoming patient should be assessed first based upon that availability. So this is that queue management, queue data structure principle. So in the queue data structures, we use the two different ends. One is the rear end, other one is the front end. So the rear end, the element is or the patient is arrived means the rear end is incremented by 1. So the patient is discharged and discharge means the front end is decremented. That means the front is equal to front plus 1. So these are all the two important pointer we are used to implement the queue data structures. So to implement the queue data structures, first we have to see the two important conditions what we have to check for the insertion and deletion. For inserting any element, first we have to check whether the queue is full or not. There is a availability in the department, emergency department or not. Okay, availability of the doctor and availability of the bed. So these are all the availability is yes means we are going to admit that patient. Next is that next condition is an underflow. That means there is no patient means we cannot discharge. The discharge operation cannot be performed in the queue data structures. So this is the introduction of the queue. So that queue data structures are implemented either in the array or the linked list. So this is the structure of the queue. So another examples of the queues are the queue management is implemented in the banking and also that toll The toll systems also we are using that queue management systems. So any queue based application are used to this type of management. So in another one in the in the queue we have a different types of queue. One is a linear or sequential queue, other one is a priority queue, and other one is a double ended queue, and next is a circular queue. So our based upon our problem statement we are implementing queue, but that queue should be the priority queue. So why we select the priority queue means, so based upon that patient emergency and waiting time we are going to assess the patient. So that is the thing we have to considered in the emergency department. So in that scenario, in that statement we are using the priority queue. So what is a priority queue means? In the priority queue, the priority means in the priority either may be a ascending or descending number. For example, ascending means number 1 is the highest priority. Suppose descending means the highest number has the highest priority. So in the queue system already we have a set of patients in the queue. So but the queue assessing and the assessing that queue patients based upon that emergency, that is the thing we have to consider in the emergency department queue management systems. So that priority queue we can pick the patient based upon that priority and waiting time. So next is, what is the benefit of implementing the queue management in the emergency department system means it improved the patient flow. So the patient flow, it based upon that assessing the patient. So the patient insertion and incoming and outgoing thing can be improved. So there is no waiting time of the patient. And next because there is a less waiting time, it automatically increase the efficiency of the system. And next one is it enhance the decision making. So the decision making means so what is the availability of that nurse and patient, and how many patients are inside, how many patients are in the emergency cases, and also what are all the waiting time of that patient. So these are all the things we can decide for implementing that that system in the priority queue management system. And also it improve the better resource utilization. So we are, for example, consider the bed availability. So once the one patient is discharged, it automatically it is informed. So we know that that bed is available, so we can allocate that bed to the another next incoming patient. So it also we can use the resources like the bed and the patient and the doctors and other resources effectively. So these are all the benefits are implementing our hospital emergency management in terms of the queue data structures. So I hope you will understand so how the queue data structures is implemented in our hospital emergency department management system. Thank you.